Virgo, it's time for you to shine your light. So let's get into your cards this week. All right, Virgo. So, first, we're going to get into your general reading, which I pulled before we got started. And then at the end, we're going to get you some guidance cards. So, let's get into it. Um, this week, it looks like there's been a loss in a connection. Um, I don't necessarily see like a breakup, but I feel like there is a disconnection going on between you and this person. Um, I can see that you've put a lot of energy and investment into this relationship. It started off very passionate, very strong. It was a new adventure to go on. It was very passionately fueled, right? And somehow it has become disconnected between the two of you. I see that you've wanted to build a foundation with this person, or you have built a foundation and a home with this person, and that is coming to an end. That is changing. Maybe you're moving out. Maybe you're deciding to be more independent and you want to get your own place. There's something that has to do with the foundation and the home between the two of you that is coming to an end. There is a change happening there. And it does bring you sadness. It makes you feel regret. It makes you feel like you're losing something, right? But I feel like you make peace with it this week because you have the Elder of Cups, which is about being able to make peace with things as far as like learning life lessons, right? Being able to look at something and say, this was good and this was bad, but it all needed to happen for X, Y, and Z, right? Being able to find the balance in the situation is what that card says, right? So I feel like even though, this is going to bring you sadness in the moment to leave this situation behind, you find balance in your emotions. You end up healing from this situation, right? And you find, I want to say, like a new peace that comes over you. And that's just the word that keeps playing over my mind. So clearly it's important. You find new peace in this situation and you're able to move on from the internal struggle and the mental fighting and maybe even the verbal fighting that you've had with this other person. And you're able to move away from that situation into a newer, calmer energy, right? And you're able to have clarity on that situation come in. So I think it's all going to make sense for you really soon, but I can see that there's been a disconnection in this relationship. And again, you've invested a lot into this relationship, into this person. And I can see that there was a lot of passion there. Maybe you traveled together and went on these, fun adventures and journeys, and it kept things fun and exciting, right? And so, whenever this ending happened in y'all's home life, it brought you a lot of sadness. And I think it came from, being emotionally bored and discontent. I think at some part or at some point in this connection, maybe when all the adventures slowed down and the early passions slowed down, that's when it was like, oh, I'm actually kind of emotionally discontent and bored, right? And I think every connection goes through that, but I can see that, this has been weighing really heavily on you. This relationship has been something that you've been carrying and it's been weighing on you because you wanted it to be long term, right? You saw this as a connection that was going to be like marriage, foundation, home, family, like that kind of vibe, right? Someone you were going to be with for the long haul. And so it's really weighing on you that this connection is at the point that it is, right? Excuse me. So, because I get it. I mean, things start out passionately, everything's great, you're going on these adventures, you're having fun, you're living together, and then all of a sudden things slow down, and it's like, oh, well, what now? So for some reason, I feel like you're deciding to move out and get your own place and maybe create space in that way in y'all's relationship in order to continue the relationship. Like, you're feeling like, I just need to get my own place. I've been putting too much into this and I need to be on my own for a while. And maybe that'll allow us to come back together. I know that's very specific, but that's just what I keep getting in my head. So let me get you some guidance cards for this week, Virgo. What is coming in for Virgo this week? What is coming in for Virgo this week? All right, so you got Shine Your Light for your guidance card. So let's read on that. Where can you shine your light? When you have a purpose, you will also have limitless energy and no joy. Where can you grow enthusiasm in your life? Consider how you can be more aligned with your passions so you can harness your light. It may be time to return to something you enjoyed but stopped doing for no reason. You are a sovereign being. Reign compassionate power and remember what lights up your world. Sorry, I'm having to take a breath because, like, I'm sick and so I'm struggling. Keywords: doing what you love, time to thrive, giving from the overflow, life purpose, being authentically you, compassionate, self-empowerment, loving life, trying things you resonate with, bringing joy to others by being an inspiration. So to me, this guidance card is saying be authentically you, shine your light, and be compassionate to yourself and empower yourself, right? And that, it said earlier that maybe you stop doing something for no reason, right? Like, maybe this relationship caused you to stop focusing on yourself for whatever reason, or focusing on things you loved for whatever reason, and it's time to get back to that. It's time to get back to yourself, and it's time for you to focus on yourself and do what you love, and time for you to thrive, right? And give back to yourself so that your light can shine. So yeah, that's what I have for you this week, Virgo. If this message resonates, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I would truly appreciate the support, and have an awesome day. Bye, my little mystics.